Every second, more than 8,000 cups of Starbucks coffee are served. But have you ever stopped to ask, what's really in yours? From remote farms in Rwanda to AI-powered espresso machines in Tokyo, Starbucks has built a coffee empire with secrets most people will never see. This isn't just coffee. It's a global operation that blends science, storytelling, and a touch of obsession, all to make that one cup in your hand taste exactly the same, anywhere in the world. But here's the wild part. The coffee in your cup might have been picked 6 months ago, roasted by robots, tested by human sniffers, and brewed with a $10,000 machine, all before sunrise. Let's rewind this story from your cup in all the way back to the dirt, how Starbucks really makes your coffee. The journey of your Starbucks coffee doesn't start in a cafe. It begins on volcanic soil, high in the mountains of Latin America, Africa, and Asia. Starbucks works with over 400,000 farmers in 30-plus countries. But not just anyone makes the cut. Each farmer must meet Starbucks' strict ethical and quality code, known as CAFE practices. But here's what most people don't know. Every single batch of beans can be traced back to its farm. Starbucks tracks them like diamonds. After the cherries are hand-picked, they're stripped, sorted, and dried under the sun. These green beans, raw, unroasted, full of potential, are about to go on a journey thousands of miles long. And what happens next decides whether they become a world-famous blend or get rejected. Roasting is where legends are made, or lost. These green beans hold hundreds of hidden flavor compounds, but they only come alive through fire. Starbucks doesn't mass roast. Each of its 9 global roasting facilities operates like a culinary lab. Time, temperature, airflow, adjusted, down to the second for each origin. There's no recipe. It's a dance of senses. Aroma, crackle, color. Roasters listen for the first crack, the moment when sugars inside begin to caramelize. And then, timing is everything. Wait too long, and it's bitter ash. Pull too early, and the flavor falls flat. The margin for error? Seconds. Once, it's perfect. The roast is halted with a blast of cold air, locked, preserved, forever. Before a single bean reaches your cup, it passes through a flavor gatekeeper. Welcome to Starbucks Tasting Lab, where coffee is treated like fine wine. Here, trained palates perform a ritual called cupping. They inhale the aroma, break the crust, slurp the brew to aerate every note: acid, body, sweetness, finish. These tasters aren't baristas, they're certified Q graders. Less than 10,000 people worldwide can hold this title. It takes months of testing. One bad day, and you fail. Once a batch passes, only then is it worthy to become part of a Starbucks. Blend, Pike Place, espresso roast, blonde, each one. A flavor symphony blended by masters, from the lab to the bar. Now it's time for transformation. At each Starbucks store, brewing isn't automatic. It's an art, rehearsed every single day. Espresso. Pressure, grind coarseness, water temperature, even humidity and altitude matter. Every cup is a response to science and instinct. Machines like the Clover ER and Clover Vertica TM don't just brew, they calculate. Pressure, temperature, vacuum timing, each variable tuned to the bean's origin. But even the most advanced machine is nothing without the human touch. Baristas craft with precision. Every swirl of milk, every pour, every finish. This is the final act of creation. You know the milk. You've tasted the silky foam. But have you ever wondered where it came from? Or how it was engineered to be this perfect? Starbucks sources milk from trusted farms across the US, Europe, and New Zealand. Farms that ban artificial growth hormones and follow strict animal welfare standards. From there, it's cooled to Rio. Exactly 4 degrees, pasteurized, homogenized, and sealed, locked into a cold chain that never breaks. But the real innovation happens here. Welcome to Starbucks Trier Center, where engineers and baristas co-design the future of your cup. The Clover Vertica TM, born here. The perfect foam temperature? Dialed in here. The Frappuccino wasn't just a drink, it was a cultural takeover. A brain freeze-inducing blend of espresso, milk, ice, and marketing genius, but that was just the start. Enter cold brew, slow steeped for 20 hours. And nitro, infused with nitrogen gas, poured like a Guinness. Smooth, creamy, completely addictive. What most people don't know, these drinks are tested dozens of times for consistency, flavor ratios, caffeine extraction, foam density, before they ever hit your cup. Each formula is guarded, adjusted by the tenth of a gram, because Starbucks knows, one sip too strong, too weak, too watery, and it's over. Every cup from Manila to Milan is supposed to taste the same. But how? Are Starbucks baristas trained to be coffee artists or factory precision technicians? Baristas undergo weeks of training, not just on coffee, but on timing, eye contact, and even how to pronounce drinks perfectly. There's a recipe card for everything, down to the gram of syrup. Steam milk to 150 degrees. Pull a shot for exactly 18:23 seconds. If it's off by even a second, it's remade. This isn't just training, it's calibration. Starbucks isn't selling coffee, it's selling consistency. And the baristas? They're the human algorithm. Starbucks sells over 4 billion cups of coffee a year. But how does a company that big stay sustainable without going broke or going fake? Enter CAFE practices. Starbucks ethical sourcing system, developed with Conservation International, audits farms for quality, sustainability, and human rights. Beans are tracked from origin to roast. Every lot is scanned, scored, and traceable. No mystery bags, no dirty sourcing secrets. And it goes beyond beans. Starbucks is reimagining the entire chain. Solar-powered farms, reusable cup initiatives, and even compostable lids. It's not just about doing less harm, it's about doing more good. In the early 90s, Starbucks was in trouble. Growth had slowed, iced coffee wasn't catching on. And then, something happened behind the counter in a California store. Baristas, going off script, began blending ice, espresso, milk, and sugary syrups. Customers couldn't get enough. The secret recipe? Not corporate, grassroots. By 1995, Starbucks made it official. The Frappuccino launched nationwide. That summer alone, it earned over $50 million and redefined Starbucks' identity. Today, it's more than a drink. It's a cultural icon. Unicorns, caramel ribbon crunches, and secret menu legends. But the truth is, it was never meant to happen. When you order your favorite drink, it tastes exactly the same, whether you're in San Francisco, Seoul, or São Paulo. But how? Is it craftsmanship or just code? Every Starbucks beverage is a formula, locked to the gram, second, and degree. From syrup pumps to milk temperature, it's all digitally calibrated, but there's still a human behind the machine. Baristas, trained for months to understand not just how to make coffee, but how to read the room, remember faces, and feel the rhythm of the crowd. So are they artists? Or algorithms in green aprons? Maybe both. Because in Starbucks' world, precision is passion, and every cup is performance art, measured in milliliters. Starbucks sells over 4 billion cups of coffee every year. But what happens after the last sip? A landfill or a legacy? In 2020, Starbucks pledged $1 billion toward sustainability. That's not just recycling, it's reimagining the entire supply chain, from bean to lid. They've rolled out reusable cup incentives, recyclable packaging, and even compostable straws. But the real shift? Partnering with farmers to make coffee growing carbon neutral by 2030. But can a company selling 10,000 cups a minute really be sustainable? Or is this billion-dollar pledge just brewed PR? In 1994, Starbucks was booming, but insiders knew the limits of espresso and drip. Then came a wild idea: serve a blended ice drink without even calling it coffee. The Frappuccino launched with 0 national ads, no TV spots, just word of mouth, and by the end of the summer it had outsold every other item on the menu. Critics scoffed, "That's not real coffee." But Starbucks didn't care. They weren't selling tradition anymore. They were selling lifestyle in a cup. Today, the Frappuccino contributes over $2 billion annually. It didn't just expand the audience, it rewrote what Starbucks stood for. When you walk into a Starbucks, you think you're making a choice. Latte or macchiato, tall or venti. But behind the counter, an invisible algorithm is already steering your decision. Menu items are placed based on behavioral psychology, anchoring scarcity and the power of default. That new seasonal drink? It's not there by accident. Even cup-size names, tall, grande, venti, are part of a pricing illusion. There's no small, so most customers naturally upgrade without realizing it. From app nudges to in-store music, Starbucks designs every detail to guide you toward a profitable choice. You think you're ordering coffee, but what you're really doing is playing a game. You thought this was about coffee, but Starbucks never just sold coffee. It sold belonging, routine, identity in a cup. That $6 drink? It's your daily ritual. Your safe space, a symbol of something bigger. Starbucks became part of culture, not because of caffeine, but because it knew how you wanted to feel. Behind every latte art heart is a calculated experience. One that knows your habits, reads your mood, and fits your life like a favorite sweater. So, is Starbucks a coffee company? Or the most successful emotional brand of our time? Maybe the real question is, do you drink it, or does it drink you, Starbucks? It was never just coffee. Subscribe and comment below. When did Starbucks become part of your life?